For the South African rugby team, the Dubai 7's tournament has been a place of triumph. For the past 4 years, the team has dominated the competition, winning the title every time they've played. It's a remarkable feat, and one that has cemented the team's reputation as one of the world's best. This year, they've done it again, taking home the winning cup and making their win 5 straight. In this video, we will look at South Africa's remarkable journey, exploring their triumphs in the pursuit of excellence on the 7 road in Dubai. 5 in a row in 7 and 8 years. That's the count of the South African rugby team's achievements at the Dubai 7's tournament in 2023. The team has been so dominant in recent years that some have even suggested renaming the tournament after them, or at least awarding them the trophy permanently. While it's all in good fun, there's no denying that the South Africans are simply on another level when it comes to this tournament. Every year, they leave their opponents trailing in their wake, proving themselves the undisputed masters of the Dubai 7. When they got to the final after wins over Australia and Fiji earlier in the day, history suggested Argentina never stood a chance. South Africa has now played 12 Dubai finals and won 11. And yet Argentina pushed them to the limit, as the form guide suggested they might. After all, the South American side finished second behind New Zealand in the World Series last season, with the Boks finishing down in 7th. In Dubai, though, the Boks are as good as invincible. They held on to claim a 12-7 win. Tries from Impie Visser and Shilton van Wyk handed the Boks a 12-0 halftime lead. Argentina made the most of Ryan Oosthuizen's being sent to the sin bin, but the Boks held on. Impie Visser had already crossed for the blitz box when Shilton van Wyk, the player of the final in 2022, touched down in the 5th minute to take the score to 12-0. Argentinian Matthias Osadzik reduced the deficit to 5 points early in the second half. There was still much to play for and much to come back from.
For Mineta to sweep round the corner, and Argentina are on the board through Matthias Osadzik.
Well, their 2 stars out in the back line heavily involved, Gonzalez and Moneta, and makes himself available. It's a real feature of his game, is his work rate. And now we are game on.
Roscoe Speckman came within inches of a spectacular try, but lost the ball and collided with the security personnel in the corner due to Augustin Fraga's great tackle, while South Africa resisted Argentina's comeback. With the HSBC SVNS heading to South Africa a week after the final in Dubai, the title in Dubai could not have come at a better time for the champions, who will return home eager to delight their fans. South Africa's interim coach, Philip Snyman, praised the incredible performances of his team throughout the weekend. He said, "We wanted to leave everything on the field," he said. "No matter what happens with the result, we want to look each other in the eyes and have a smile on our faces." Even with the yellow card tonight, they really played for each other, played for their jersey, and restored pride in the Springbok 7's jersey. The journey to the final was challenging, but South Africa is accustomed to winning tough matches, a characteristic that defines champions. It was a repeat of history for the Springboks at the Dubai 7's tournament in 2022. They had a good play and walked home with their 4th victory in a row. The final game against first-time Dubai finalists Ireland was more or less over before it had even begun. Shilton van Wyk scored the first goal right at the beginning. Then he scored again 4 minutes later. By halftime, the champions were winning 21-0, with captain Siviswe Vapi claiming an intercept score when Ireland was pushing to get back into the final. Ricardo James Duarte successfully converted all 3 goals. In the second half, Ireland tried to make a comeback with a goal by Jack Kelly, but it didn't change much. The Boks ended up winning 21-5. "I'm very proud of the boys," Swazwapi said. "The camp coming into this tournament was different, but we really stuck together. Today and the whole weekend just showed how much we fight for each other." South Africa proved the adage that it is not about how you start, but how you finish in the sport. They had arrived for the tournament with a new-look squad. Multi-title winning coach Neil Powell had left the role in September after the best part of a decade in charge. If their opposition thought they had a chance, belief would have risen after Great Britain, a side put together at short notice, beat the Boks in the opening round of pool matches. South Africa barely made it through the pool stage based on the points they scored, winning narrowly against Australia in their last game. And yet, while Great Britain was playing in the consolation matches on finals day and losing to Uruguay, South Africa was taking home the title yet again. "The game of 7's is a game of no excuses," Swazwapi said regarding the Boks comeback. "The level we're playing at this season, all the teams are tough to play against. They're stepping up, but no easy game. We mentioned that and made sure we were in the right mental space each game that we played." After its 1-year absence, there was so much that was different about the 2021 Emirates Dubai 7's from what had gone before. Then at the end of it all, South Africa cleaned up, so at least not everything changes. When the Blitzboks beat Australia 10-7 in a tense final match in the World Series tournament, it gave them their third successive Emirates International trophy, albeit spread over a weird time frame. South Africa's extraordinary form in the abridged format meant their success in the UAE came as little surprise. They were in the midst of a 24-game unbeaten run and sat at the top of the 7's standing, just as their better-known compatriots do in the XV's game. And yet that belies the fact that they had started the game with just 11 fit players, as they were unable to fly out injury replacements as a consequence of the Omicron travel ban. A lot of people thought we were only here to survive, but we came here and thrived. That's the thing about this group. We gelled so well last weekend, said JC Pretorius, who scored the decisive try and was named player of the match in the final. Last weekend was in the past, but we stuck to our guns and came out victorious. Defeat was harsh on Australia, which led a 7-5 lead after Corey Toole's blistering break in the 5th minute. It was just the second time in history that the Australians had reached the final in Dubai, having been beaten by the same opposition in the 2014 final. Since 2008, South Africa won their first Emirates Airline Dubai 7's Cup in 2014, defeating Australia 33-7 in a clinical display of 7's rugby, with Quagga Smith putting in a commanding performance in attack and defense. End-to-end rugby was the feature of the early exchanges, with neither side able to break up the opposition's defense. It was South Africa's 3-try semi-final hero Smith who posted the first points with a strong bust down the right. Australia countered just before halftime, spreading the ball wide to Powerhouse and leveling at 7-7 going into the break. Unlike the first half, it was only a matter of seconds before the scoreboard ticked over again. Philip Snyman diving low beside the post for the Blitzboks second. Sam Myers of Australia, appearing in their first ever Dubai Cup final, had a chance to tie the score but was stopped just short by Smith's last-ditch show of strength. Siabelo Sanatla then sprinted down the field to score after chasing a kick, increasing South Africa's lead to 21-7. Sanatla scored again, tying with Ambrose Curtis for the most tries in the tournament. Luan Nel added 5 more points, securing the win for South Africa. We didn't play our best in Australia, but this was a fantastic event for us, South African captain Kyle Brown said about the game. We've worked hard on our defense all day, and this means a lot to all of us. We'll enjoy tonight for sure. In the earlier match, South Africa had a strong 28-0 victory against defending series champions New Zealand, securing their spot in the Cup final. Quagga Smith played a crucial role in the first half, scoring 3 tries and giving South Africa a commanding 21-0 lead. Cecil Africa added to the success with a breakaway try 2 minutes before the end. Australia had a surprising performance on their way to the Cup final, causing an upset in the tournament by defeating defending champions Fiji 29-24 in extra time. Coach Jaron John celebrated his first Cup final with Australia. Years after, South Africa continues clinching the Cup and the other countries are still trailing in their wake. That's a wrap on South Africa's journey through a 5 back-to-back win in Dubai 7's. Perhaps they'll be extending it to 6. Who knows? What do you think? Let's know your opinion in the comments section. Thanks for watching this video. We'll see you in the next video.